Alright, Shalom. First, I want to give all the praises, all the glory, all the honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, that taught us his truth, and blessings to the elect and the remnant of Israelites who are scattered worldwide, who are predestined to be saved. This is Brother Yakao coming with another lesson, and Lord willing, you brothers and few sisters in this truth will be edified. And today's lesson is, I'm gonna put up a couple of videos on like an in-house thing that we did for our camp. We went through Daniel chapter 3, and it's a hell of a chapter because it mirrors what we're gonna have to go through in these last days if we are, Lord willing, a part of that elect. People are gonna get tortured and killed, for this ministry. We like Yahushua said, we have to follow after him. We have to bear our own cross, and we're doing it now, but there's going to be a time, especially when, things like the MOTB is instituted, where we're going to have to make a choice. And if the Lord, the Spirit of Yahweh Shah is with us, we're going to make, the right choice. And that the right choice is, all right, kill me, torture me, etc. I fear, Yahweh, God of Israel, more than I fear what is going to happen to me. So look out for that. I think I'll do it tomorrow. And I'll try and do it in 2 parts, so it's a bit shorter, because it's a hell of a chapter. But today's lesson, we're going to talk about, basically go back into time, because it's still prevalent in our nation at the moment, and it's prevalent in all 12 tribes. All right, it's prevalent in all 12 tribes. The examples that I'm going to give in this lesson is mainly the southern kingdom, Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, on the skin color issue, and not just the skin color issue, the slave mentality issue, because the slave mentality issue is huge. And the reason why we have this slave mentality, well, we don't, because we've been transformed by the renewals of our minds, the ones that are in this truth. But the reason why people have that is because the ways of the wicked seduced them. Let's start with that, man. That's a that's a good scripture to start off with, because we are the righteous and we are more excellent than any other nation on the planet Earth. And if we had obeyed our God, we wouldn't be in this mess, So it's Proverbs 12:26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. And when it says his neighbor, I'm talking about all these heathens, man. Not just the so-called white man, all right, who is an Edomite, the Chinese man who's a Moabite, the Japanese man who is an Ammonite, and the Elamites, Pakistanis, Indians, Bengalis, Sri Lankans, you Persians, you Iranians, you Arabs, you Ishmaelites. We're better than you, man. The only reason why, we can say that boldly. See, a nigger that's not in his truth, and a nigger that is not in his truth is a nigger, man. All right, or a nigger woman. They have like an inferiority complex around these heathens, especially the so-called white man. But when the Lord brings in his truth, you have a ruling class mentality, because we know our history, and our history was so special that this white man and other races, but particularly the so-called white man, has stolen it. That's why they're getting all bent out of shape of this Gladiator 2 trailer that is on YouTube, because Denzel Washington is in there. Don't you know that the Roman Empire, when it was after Domitian, after that it was all Israelite Roman emperors who were the emperors. Okay, Israelites were heavily up in the Roman Empire in the Senate, man. All right, in the console, in the armies. Okay, go and look up Septimius Severus, the five good Roman emperors, Saint George. All right, of Cappadocia. I've done videos on that. They were all Israelite men, so-called dark-skinned men. And back then, there was no inferiority complex when it comes to our skin color. So that shows you that this captivity has destroyed our people. Okay? So the righteous, Proverbs 12 and 26, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. So the way of the wicked, what is the wicked promoting on TV? The wicked is promoting on TV is that if you want to be rich, be like me. All right. If you want to be attractive, look like me, dress like me, walk like me, talk like me. You know, and that's what our people are doing, with dire consequences, man. All right. And I'm gonna show you some of those dire consequences. You know, in this video, I'm gonna show you clips, man. Okay. And one of the leaders in West Africa, what's his name? Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. All right, we're gonna listen to a speech that he said recently, and his speech was on the house slaves. All right, now Burkina Faso, if people don't know, is in that slave coast, man. All right, of all right, it's there in West Africa, and this is their president now, Ibrahim Traore, and they're trying to say that he's a dictator because they did a coup, and basically they kicked the French out of there, man. All right, and he did a fantastic speech, and I'm gonna play it later on in this video, so stay tuned, on house niggas, man. All right, and house niggas are in the scriptures, and all you house niggas are gonna die very soon, man. All right, doesn't matter how much money that your slave master gives you. All right, and they keep saying that this Burkina Faso is the poorest country, you know, this, that, and the other. Well, why does the so-called white man, why is he setting up terrorist squads there? All right, because he wants the mineral resources. All right, and back in the day, they had another leader that they put to death, Thomas Sankara, and this man, yeah, this is him, Thomas Sankara. You know, he was an excellent leader, man. He paid off debt from the IMF bank. You know, he said to the government employees, drive modest cars, you know, even use bikes. He elevated women into positions of power, which we don't agree with because the scriptures don't agree with that. But he basically did a lot of things. He, you know, literacy, education, and he was a modest man. He wasn't no academic or anything like that. See, all this madness of getting academics and, oh, I have to have a degree and stuff like that. But what happened? His revolution was quashed because of house niggers, man. All right, someone very close to him set him up and killed him. But this man was was a fantastic leader. That's why you can go on YouTube and learn about him. All right, and our people who are in America, this is your history. Okay, all right, these are your people. This is your history. Same with our people that are in West Africa. All right, these are your people. Same with our people that are in America. These are your people, and this is your history. All right. Now you are in this truth. This business of Africans are boo boos, and the blacks in America, you are slaves, and all this stuff is madness. And I'm going to show you. And I'm going to show you one example of this self-hatred. And this clip that I'm going to show you is one of the most sickening things I've ever seen. And I'm being honest with you, before I was in his truth, all right, one of my best friends was Nigerian. Me and him were a bit like, well, we were a lot like that, man. All right, we would go out with girls who were from the West Indies, but we would look down on people who are West Indian. You know, I'm from, my parents were from Sierra Leone. His parents was from Nigeria. Okay, now how can, and that shows you how bugged out we was. Because how can a Nigerian look down, or a Sierra Leonean look down on a West Indian. If you go to any West Indian country, their electricity supply is constant 24 hours a day. All right. Unlike you niggers over there in West Africa, man. Blackouts every morning. You'll be doing work and trying to get your paper done for your work and on your laptop, and then in Nigeria, blackout, boom. Rolling blackouts, man. You know, they have to supply. They have to buy generators and all kinds of primitive madness. But then these slaves, all right, these Israelites that have got this slave mentality will go and migrate from West Africa to America or the UK, and then they will start looking down on their own people who are African American or West Indian. It don't make sense. If you're better than your brothers and sisters, why don't you stay your ass in your own country? You see? So that shows you that all of that is bullshit. And you know what it comes down to? It's a house nigger mentality. It's exactly what the white man wants. All right? And I'm glad that the Lord brought me in this truth, because if I had that mentality, please God, just kill me, man. All right. Now this footage you're about to see is again a slave, and she was calling an African American guy a slave, and I don't know the whole video. Apparently the guy told her to go back to Africa and all this stuff, blah blah blah. Well, even if he did or he didn't, but this woman that's from West Africa, definitely Israelite, because her surname is Diallo, and Diallo and Diallo is definitely a Senegalese or Ivorian name. All right, one of those two countries, man. All right. If you put Diallo name. If you put Diallo name, all right, and Diallo, what nationality is the name Diallo? All right. Yeah, see, it's French. It's a Fulani name, and the Fulanis are so it's a Fulani name. Yeah, here you go. Diallo, all right, is a French pronunciation of a Fulani surname of fuller origin. Oh my gosh. So, and most of the Fulani are Israelites, man. All right, and where are the Fulani? They're in Ivory Coast, Nigeria. No, they're in Sierra Leone. You got some in Liberia. You got some, So this bitch is definitely an Israelite woman, man. I'm just gonna show you. This clip is disgusting. She's a doctor in America, all right. And this channel, by the way, this woman's Sarah Bell, she's heavily against black men. I've actually even been on years ago. She had a live podcast or whatever. I thought, let me try see what they're doing, and it's just black women that hate black men on her channels and so forth. All right, but
tax money.
But look.
So the first towards him, but then
so
she
look,
said you people.
See look, Hadama Nuhu Diallo, and from that picture, she look like she's been doing some skin bleaching herself, man. Okay.
So she's talking about all black American.
Talking about a prostitute bitch. Some motherfucking booties with some motherfucking tap dance.
Yeah, look at her tap dance shoes. See, all of you guys, you are a bitch. So she's basically generalizing, and we have to understand about this mentality. It's in the scriptures, man. It doesn't marvel. It's a demon, basically. It's a demonic, self-hating spirit, man. And the white man cultivated that demonic, evil spirit in slavery. He cultivated it, man. All right, he cultivated it with the so-called house Negro and the field Negro. All right, he cultivated that, man. That was his plan, and his plan is working. All right, it's working with a lot of our people. Okay, and hey, that's the reason why this truth is what's the word? It's everything. All right, it's a slave master repellent. I repeat, this truth, all right, being in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is a slave master, slave mentality repellent. All right, because if you look in Jeremiah, all right, if you look in Jeremiah chapter 2, okay, and here the title is Judah's apostasy. Now let's look up the word apostasy so you can get a bit more edification. Apostasy is the abandonment, all right, the abandonment or reunification of a religious or political belief or principle. Okay, so it's an abandonment of who you are. It's an abandonment of Yahweh, his son Yahweh Shai, his law, statute, commandments, everything all rolled into one. All right, so if you are a slave and you have a slave mentality, you don't like being dark skinned, or even if you are Israelite and you don't like being light skinned as well, because we do have that as well. I've been out when I was in the world. I went out with plenty of girls, or tried to go out with plenty of girls, and it didn't really last that long, who were light skinned, and many of them didn't like themselves. Okay, that's a newsflash for a lot of our women who are dark skinned or brown skinned. They didn't like, a lot of them don't like themselves, man. And you know why? It's because the wicked shit that you niggas are saying to them. That's why. We don't care about that, man. All right, in this truth. In the Bible, it talks about the tribe of Ephraim, Puerto Ricans. It says Ephraim is a cake not turned. All right, what does that scripture mean? When you have like a cake, a pancake, right? One side, you fry one side, it's nice and dark and brown, but the other side is all light and gooey. That means that the tribe of Ephraim, the Puerto Ricans, some of them are going to be dark skinned, some of them are going to be light skinned. That's a future prophecy, and that's for the tribe of Ephraim, man. All right, so all 12 tribes are like that, man. Okay, so however the Lord designed you, the Lord didn't make no mistakes. Okay, so you should learn to love yourself. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 14. All right, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Homeborn slave. Homeborn slave. Why is he spoiled? And what does spoiled mean? Spoiled means to take away something from someone. All right. What have we been? What has been taken away from us? History, language, culture, everything. So that's the reason why we have this slave mentality in our nation, man. Okay. Is Israel a servant? All right. A servant. And what does a servant mean?
Strong's H 5650.
Ibad.
Eved.
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 Eved in Hebrew, which means a slave, a servant. All right. A slave, servant, manservant. You're a subject. A subject to who? The so-called white man. You're God, man. Servants, worshippers. So you're basically a slave. All right. You're a slave and you're a servant. And you're a servant to who? Your master, the so-called white man. That's what you are, man. Okay. And if you have that mentality, that means you are an apostate. You are an Israelite only in name only, man. All right. If you start talking about dark skin versus light skin, all that stuff, all that's apostasy, man. Okay. All right. The Lord is not with that, man. Hey, the Most High Himself, the Ancient of Days. All right. The Most High. He's dark, very dark. Yahweh Shai is very, very dark. I'm dark skinned, very dark skinned. All right. And then we have some brothers that are very light skinned in our camp. We don't make mention of it. We don't start saying light skin versus dark skin, splitting up the camp. You niggas are out of your mind, man. But as I said, as before, the Lord brought me in this truth. You know, I was out of my mind. And this woman here, she would not be saying this, all right, if this was a white man. That's the sad thing about it, you know. All right, so that's a good example. But now I'm gonna show you. And this woman here has bleached her skin. I mean, look at this woman, man. And she's even showing the product, I think, how I lighten my skin tone fast. Look at her. And and she's getting off on it, man. She's getting off on it, all right? But Esau has agents, and these agents are here to divide us, all right? Now, Nick Cannon has done something, and I'm going to show it here. Because it doesn't matter if Nick Cannon wears a mitre. Yes, Nick Cannon knows that we're the real Israelites and stuff, but he's not really in this truth. He sold his soul a long time ago.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, and guess what he's doing, man? He's basically promoting a what's it called? Some event.
Light skin versus dark skin.
Yeah, a
right?
light skin, dark skin event.
Not on social media. Dusty, Nick Cannon, and Zeus Network. They decide to throw a light skin versus dark skin party. So let me share my tab.
Wow.
And they are currently getting drugged all over social media here. So, meet my baby. I still can't believe he's 18 now. All right. So this was the flyer, and it says bad versus wild, dark skin versus light skin. And you see all the chicks here, and some of the light skinned girls, they made them look even lighter. I think that Stunner Girl, and Stunner Girl is light skinned, but she's not that pale. Then you have all the dark skinned chicks over here. And Sukiana is performing. She's the same girl who's always crying about colorism, but engaging.
And if you notice, this Sukiana, if you look at the dark skin side, they're not really even that dark. You know, they're not dark. They're brown, man. You see that? So, but I'm just showing you these things because behind all of this stuff, now Nick Cannon is doing this, but behind him is the master. So the master's telling him to do these things. And he's not telling him to do these things to uplift our people. It's to do what? It's to do one thing. It's to destroy them. Okay? To make them what? Homeborn slaves. All right? Homeborn slaves. That is the what's the word? That's the goal of all of this madness. Putting other women, you know, who are light-skinned black women in roles rather than dark-skinned ones, this, that, and the other. You know, there's not many of them around. I mean, Viola Davis, she's one. Other than that, not many. All right? But that doesn't mean that because of that, you start hating people who are light-skinned. That's all bullshit, man. All right? That's why your mind needs to be renewed, man. All right? This is 1 John 5:19. And we know that we are of God. So all right, the ones of us that are in this truth, we're of God, man. All right, the ones of us that don't look at this whole light skin, dark skin thing, you know, we try and treat each other equally, you know, no matter how they look and stuff. All right, and listen, we're all in the flesh. Brothers might go off, sisters might go off, but you know, you make a sincere repentance to the Heavenly Father. And you go again, and you learn from your mistake. All right? That's how we know that we are of God. And the whole world lieth in wickedness. And a light skin versus dark skin event, all right, is nothing but wickedness, man. All right? And we know that Job 9:24, what? The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Who's the wicked? So-called white man. If the so-called white man was a just ruler, he wouldn't be allowing wickedness like this to go on. All right, this is on Zeus Network. Who do you think runs that network? Who were the Greeks that were into all this Greek mythology? Yeah, Jakes was up in there. All right, but it was mainly a cracker. it was mainly a cracker society, man. All right. So, so we know, so we know that the whole world is lying in wickedness, man. All right. Okay, and that wickedness wants to destroy your mind. So don't watch that. The Lord didn't make mistakes designing us. Okay. However He designed you, like my dad. I'm dark skinned, but my dad was like a shade darker than me, and my dad was he was a ladies' man. I'm nothing like him. Absolutely nothing. He was a doctor. I'm absolutely nothing like him. You know, he had kids everywhere. We've got brothers and sisters that we ain't even met. You know, I'm just being honest with you know, brothers and sisters out there. You know, he was never faithful to anyone. All right, he was a dark skinned man, and he got women everywhere, man. You know, so you know, and I'm not saying that you know, so I'm saying that to not to glorify his wickedness. All right, I'm saying that he never had that mentality of, oh, you know, people are better than me. He had a ruling class mentality, and a part of that ruling class mentality is to know your history, because he knew his history very well. Okay, so the whole world is lying in wickedness because of this devil, man. Okay, so he's gonna always promote things that primarily destroy who? Destroy the 12 tribes of Israel, because he knows that we're gonna rule next. You know, he wants to get as many of our people out of the way, man. Okay, that's what he wants to do. Now there's a video here. All right, with this actor Bill Duke. Let's watch this. And it's just a very interesting. I think it's an interview.
Look how beautiful.
I'm
Houses,
glad.
servants, cooks, maids, etc.
Right.
A lot of the racism in our community is based upon the house Negroes versus the field Negroes. And the house Negroes were the ones who Massa had sex with a slave, and she'd have a baby. And because they were mixed, black and white, they have the privilege of working in houses, servants, cooks, maids, etc.
That's right.
But if you were dark, you worked in the field from sun up to sundown. And that was the division. And the field Negroes were not fond of the house Negroes because they had privileges. And the house Negroes were not fond of the field Negroes because they were privileged. Until this day, if you go online under hashtag Team Lightskin, hashtag Team Darkskin, you'll see light-skinned black women and dark-skinned black women working over beauty issues.
Crazy.
And each of them has over 300,000 members. The irony is, I have white female friends who go to tanning salons once or twice a week, become darker, crinkle up their hair, get Botox lips and butt lifts to look more ethnic.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be black except us.
It's interesting because
That's very true.
I interviewed a rapper from Florida. His name is Glock 9, and he's I believe he's Haitian, and he's very, very dark skinned, darker than you actually, I believe.
And by the way, this guy is a complete nigger, man. You know, but listen to what this nigger says. This Glock 9 guy. I saw him in a Louis Theroux documentary. I think he was from Florida, I think it is, and he's a drill rapper. He's been in and out of prison, and everyone that was behind him, they were all Amalekites. His manager, you know, his lawyer, they were all Amalekites. You know, they're parasites, man. They feed off of the talent that our people have, and they bleed them dry. They take most of their money. But listen to what he says anyway.
When I was talking to him, I asked, would he have a baby with someone of his own complexion? And he said definitely not.
I know if I'm fucking with you, I'm black as fuck, right? I'm black as shit.
Yeah, black is beautiful though, man.
So I know if I fuck with a black man, we're gonna have
Yeah.
And he still, and you know, and he responded. He said, "Listen, none of you guys know what I went through growing up, so you guys can't tell me
That's right.
what I'm gonna do. You know, fuck y'all."
Well, do you know that I think it's 50 billion? Did you know that skin bleach, I think, is a $50 billion business?
There you go.
Yeah,
Global
that's pretty crazy.
You
skin
see?
bleach.
Yeah. So there you go. He said that he wouldn't go out with have a woman that is his complexion, because his baby is gonna come out dark like him. And the reason why he said that is because the hell that he catched when he was growing up, you know, because of you niggers, man, and your slave mentality, you know. That's the reason why he said that, man. He never said he didn't he said it based upon the experiences that he's had. Okay, but the reason why we're in this mess is because of us historically going off and worshipping other gods and doing all this wickedness. So God applied all these curses onto us. So being a house nigger is a curse, man. All right, it's a part of the curses. Being a homeborn slave is part of the curses. So until the kingdom comes, we have to face these slaves, man. All right, we have to deal with them. But the one thing that we have to do is make sure that we are not what's the word? That we don't have their mindset whatsoever. That we renew our mindset every day. Okay, and we're in this position because of our wickedness. This is First Kings 14:9. All right. Okay. And this is basically about the king. And one of the kings, I think it was Jeroboam. Okay. But really, a lot of the kings in ancient Israel were wicked, and the people were. Okay. But has done evil before all that were before thee. All right. And that's what's happening with this generation of Israelites. They're doing evils that are worse than all the Israelites before them. This is the worst generation of Israelites. So you're going to have fucked up mentalities of our people. For thou hast gone and made the other gods. See again, that's the start of the problem. Us worshipping other gods historically, and we know that reincarnations in the Bible, and molten images to provoke me to anger, and thou hast cast me behind thy back. So because we cast the Lord behind our backs and said we'll do what we want to do, now the Lord has plagued us to have fucked up mentalities, you know, really bad mentalities. And it shows you, I'm going to show you this clip because